Hey guys, how's everybody? I was watching something on the internet the other day. It was reminding me of when I was younger. It's tough being a middle child when you're not the oldest and you're not the youngest and you're the middle child. You seem like you get messed with. You seem like you get messed with more than you would being the oldest child or the youngest child. Let's look at this flower real quick. Pretty flower. That's an eggplant bush. See them eggplants. Another one over here at the top. Yeah, but seemed like I got messed with by my brother and sister a lot, and I used to try to avoid them. There's more pretty flowers. I tried to avoid them as much as I can, but you know, being the middle child, it's rough on you. You know, seeing them all the time. Now, us just being roughhousing and, you know, being young, we used to do things to each other and mess with each other, and you would think, why is, I guess kids nowadays, there we are. Kids nowadays just can't understand about not having internet and not having a phone, not having stuff like that, and us messing with each other. So, it had me thinking about this time. I don't know, I couldn't have been any more than probably 10 years old, and my brother, I think it was, or might have been, it was somebody, had told me I had saw an old hole, and back in them days when we were living in Ocala, near Ocala, they used to burn the garbage, and probably one of the old garbage pits, there was a hole in there, like a hole in the ground, and one of them had mentioned or talked about that being yeah, but you don't need to be out there running around outside the gate. Wow, very pretty. And being young, I believed everything. They said, where are we going to take a seat here at this little spot that I usually wait at? There we go. Well, anyways, they told me that it was a old hole going to the devil. They told told me that it was a hole going to the devil. And, you know, being probably 9 or 10 years old, I believed what they said, being young. And I said, well, I'm going to burn the old devil out of there, out of that hole. And I'm going to, thought I was doing a good thing, being young, being little, you know how kids are. Well, I went in the kitchen and had one of these old, this was the late 70s, had one of these old gas stoves, kind with the gas burners on top. And had I think you had to light it with a lighter. I'm not really sure because it was an old stove. And we had, you know, typical kitchen. We were renting a house, and the stove was an old stove, and the floor was one of those linoleum floors. And if you see the patterns of the 1970s linoleum, different colors, different patterns, and well, anyways, I don't know, somehow we got the stove lit up, and I had a rolled up newspaper, kind of more or less balled up, kind of rolled up newspaper, and I was going to light that newspaper and take it out there and stuff it down into that hole and burn the old devil out of that old hole. And I lit that newspaper up, and I don't know what happened. It was went up so quick. That hole just, that paper just, you know, kind of lit up real quick. And so I dropped it. I dropped the paper in the kitchen. The newspaper that was on fire, I dropped it in the kitchen, and it had landed on that linoleum, which back in the days, linoleum was just as flammable as the newspaper, and it burned a big hole in that linoleum, that pattern design. It had burned a big spot in that linoleum. And at that point, I had forgot all about the devil being in the hole, and I had started thinking about the, how I'm going to get in trouble over that. How I'm going to get in trouble over that big linoleum spot. So sure enough, my mom eventually came home, and I was like, she said, oh, what happened? I was screaming and yelling, you know, and I said, I don't know, it wasn't me. And the other kids, you know, my brother and sister, they said, hey, it wasn't me. So, you know, my mom did what the best Christian thing she could do, is beat all three of us. You know, she whooped all three of us for either telling a lie, or she whooped us for that. Well, anyways, so that was the whooping. Then she found out that I had done it. You know, I sure didn't tell her. I think it was one of the other ones, and they had said something, so, and she pretty well figured I'd do stuff like that anyway. So here I am getting my second whooping. So not only did I get one whooping, I got two whoopings. And needless to say, I haven't burnt down the kitchen and stuff anymore. And if I see an old devil hole out there, you know, he lucked out with me. So, well, that's just one of the things that happened when I was younger. There's a whole instance of stuff. I did a lot of things when I was a kid. So, just wanted to share that one thing with you, and I'm sure I'll come up and think about some more stuff pretty soon. All right. That's all I got to say. You know, you guys take care and God bless, and I hope you guys subscribe to my channel. I see a lot of you are watching me, but I can't get that button clicked. It's just real easy, and it's free, and really, look at this fly. This fly wants to click subscribe. You gotta do, click subscribe, click that like button, you know, what's up like this, and that share thing there. Subscribe's probably over here somewhere. And check my videos out. Well, that's all I gotta say. Take care, guys.